When we were coming here, we were zooming over the weekend. Hakainde Hichilema is not sleeping. Amen. He has begun to summon judges to his house. To try and intimidate them or coerce them to advance an agenda to bring a one-party state in this country. That, as it were, the Vice President spoke to it, the Secretary General spoke to it. The only hope for this country to remain on the rail of multi-party democracy is the judiciary. Amen. Yes. We call on the judges to use their conscience, not the manipulation of Hakainde Hichilema. That Wengwa manipulation should not prevail over the judiciary. We expect that the correct thing is done. Those judges that are being called to be coerced, may they have their conscience speak to them.
Made strong by you, not by individual leaders, but by you collectively. Chamene maonesa lelo yonse Zambia yaziva kuti bachamene akamba kuti PF inafa ana maboza. PF is here and PF will become stronger. As mind Zibambo atiuza Raphael Nakachinda kuti atiuza kuti nkani achita adjourn. Pamene achita adjourn court tizapa santau pasiye niweka akaweruze pa Wednesday. Koma chamete no ziva is that the final judges on a matter like this are the citizens of Zambia. Oh, yes.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is one of the latest developments that Zambia is having. Apparently, Raphael Nakachinda, given Lubinda, and a lot of different PF members are accusing the UPND and specifically President Hakainde Hichilema of summoning and coercing, or rather intimidating the judges so that some despicable things can happen. And remember, yesterday we did talk about cheap propaganda. So in case you didn't watch yesterday's live stream, I really encourage you to go check it out, because we did talk about such false allegations. But anyway, this is going to be one of our topics today, and we're also going to be talking about the fact that the Kabwata by-elections have been set by the ECZ. So Kabwata by-elections are going to be ongoing in January 2022, and this is going to be a very decisive constituency, and it's pretty much going to shape politics of Zambia with regards to how popular these political parties are, especially with regards to holding their structures intact. So it's going to be a very well-defining moment, or rather constituency, for a lot of different political parties, and just to be precise, the UPND and the Patriotic Front. So whoever is going to scoop this seat is definitely really going to send a strong message to the opponents, if I can put it that way. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this one is going to pan out. And of course, we all know the tragic event that really led up to the upcoming by-elections, and may he so rest in peace. I do not really want to get into that because it was a very tragic event, but here we are. Anyway, the next topic is going to be the fact that the National Assembly Speaker, Mrs. Nelly Muti, is standing firm with regards to the decision that she made as far as the pronouncements with regards to the nullified MPs who were attending Parliament, and she told them to go to the judges or go to the courts in order for them to rectify the situation. So what do you think about that particular stance, and why do you think the Patriotic Front has resorted to cheap propaganda? This is absolutely cheap propaganda. And in case you want to be part of this conversation, please join the link in the comment section. So if you look at the comment section, right, there is usually a pinned comment, and that's why we have the link that you guys can have access to, and then you can be able to join this particular conversation. People are going to be able to hear your opinions. And last but not the least, we are going to talk about the ZAILE exams and why the exams are so hard, because it really seems there is a 1%, less than 1% pass rate as far as ZAILE exams. And this can really make people wonder. People like Tutwanguluve. But Tutwanguluve, ushabari pasa ZAILE. But of course, I'm just poking fun at Batuta Nguluve, because, you know, we've got bad blood, as in youths, not me specifically, but the Zambian youths and Tutu Nguluve, because we heard the outrageous statements that he made last year when he told the police to break the bonds of disgruntled youths. And you know, I am a disgruntled youth, and you know, I was affected by that particular you know, comment. Anyhow, so at this particular moment, I'll be waiting for you. And of course, you already know the tradition. If you are able to hear me and see me right now, kindly take 1 second of your life to share this live stream. It only takes 1 second. So share it on your timeline and in 5 different Facebook groups, because that does help us grow the page. So before we jump into today's episode, please share this video, reshare this video right now, because we need to have some good numbers. And I can see a lot of you are joining us. In case you've got any other contributions, I will be reading your comments. So in case you guys are shy, and you do not want to be part of this live stream, you can always drop your comments. You know, everybody gets to sound their opinion. So I do see KB Salisimu says, alarm the nation willfully is punishable at law. Skinner Zulu says, very good part. Jonathan says judges are operating under pressure. So why do you say judges are operating under pressure, Jonathan Makumba? Munilunga presenter. I'm sure he meant Munilunga present. So Stephen, I usually do see you. Big shout out to you, my brother. I usually see you on the comment. You are always supporting Z Corner. So yeah, if you're watching this video, hit the like button, and remember, share this video, because everybody's voice does matter. So Sefu Mundunga says, you will reap what you sow. So what are you sowing? Or are you talking about the PF or the UPND? So Felix Mundumbwe says, watching lives from Muzungu Belela and Conman Nakachinda. All right, okay, that's funny. You caught me off guard, Mr. Mundumbwe. All right, okay, cool. MK says, please let this clique of thieves get arrested for defamation of the president. So these guys are coming up with outrageous proclamations. Now, let's listen to this one more time while I wait for people to join and come through. Well, for people to join the link. And remember, so Z Corner is a very therapeutic community TV station where we allow the citizens to give their opinions, because we want your voices to be heard. And this is an outlet that really allows you to sort of vent, to breathe, and just to let everything out. So this is one of the reasons why you guys have to be rallying behind us, and you have to be supporting us. Besides that, so basically, the way that I look at it is 2021 to about 2026. I think it's a very it's the beginning of the new dawn, no pun intended. And I really believe there's going to be Zambia is going to grow in ways that we haven't seen in a very long period of time. And can you imagine the amount of freedom that we are having? Just look at the clip that I played you. There was different opposition members who were able to gather and just basically voice out their opinions, and nobody intimidated them. The police were absolutely professional. Everybody had an opportunity to express themselves. Now, ask yourselves this particular question: would this have happened in the previous regime? I'm telling you, I'm telling you. So anyway, what else are we going to play? Now, a lot of you might be saying, look, Wamona, where do you get the audacity to talk about these things? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is simple. Exactly. So yeah, by the way, join. What are you guys waiting for? Join the stream, because you guys can see the topics that we are going to be talking about. And I just don't want to give you my biased opinion, because you guys are already saying, being used by the UPND, you're being paid, are you looking for a job? No, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just a patriotic Zambian. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to play this. No. This is what I wanted to play. Charabashani charo cha so ama yutsi imisepera ngatabarelanda. Charabashani chalo. So this is one of the reasons why you have to participate. So I will be waiting for the regulars and the people who usually add their opinions, and everybody is welcome. This is the beauty of Z Corner. Bonsefe. Va UPND, va PF, ama feminist, abena ben lombe type. Everybody is welcome. So yeah, one more time, let me just play this while I wait for my panelists to come through. They are kind of preparing, so let me just play this one more time so that you guys can get the gist of what we are going to be talking about.
Democracy has identified. Amen. When we were coming here, we were zooming over the weekend. Hakainde Hichilema is not sleeping. Amen. He has begun to summon judges to his house.
Now, isn't that a very bold proclamation by Raphael Kachinga? Defamation of character, or maybe it's just politicking. So let me know in the comment section what you think about that particular opinion from the Mr. Binocular. So rather the self-proclaimed Mr. Binocular. So, you know, he's been monitoring what has been happening apparently at the residence of, President Hichilema. And according to him, he says President Hichilema is bringing in a lot of different judges. That's according to Raphael Nakachinda. And, that's like a very bold statement. Yo. So I hope he has got statistical data to back that up.
To try and intimidate them or coerce them to advance an agenda to bring a one-party state in this country.
So he's saying they are trying to get intimidated. It really seems Brother Raphael Nakachinda, I usually love using the word brother or sister, he's forgotten how we had an intimidating environment in the past, 6 years or something. The type of intimidation that Zambians were facing, you can't really compare it to the current situation by Raphael, Mr. Nakachinda. It's incomparable. And I don't really know whether he feels this is going to allow him to, score many points. But I think this is just, it's sad, really. It's sad. There's many ways opposition can really get to do smart politics. And we did talk about this previously, and there's other ways of actually being a very efficient opposition organization than, just hitting below the belt. To be honest, there's a lot of things that can be tackled with regards to the economy, with regards to just, progress. And I just find this type of politicking to be, I don't know, it's very funny. It's sad, really. It's very, very sad. So in the meantime, reading your comments, Valasford Muziamba says, click of thieves, Muletezia Ndai, Kikiki, Given and Raphael. All right, okay, at Mwila, at Lusambo, Sha Abakari Tabalanda. What does Nakachinda mean? Yeah, mwindengesha ndande film. So Mazuba says ZAILE Hichilema from 394, only one is learned. Ninshi tilipila ma 24 pin aya iyo awe iyo. So anyway, I can see some people rolling through. Yeah, let me just add these people to the panel. Otherwise, I'll give you my biased opinion, and you guys are going to be, giving me all the hit. So before we jump into today's, live stream, please share the video. I can see there's a number of you watching us. Share. I only have about 22 shares. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, what's happening? So share the video on your timeline and in 5 different Facebook groups right now, and like the video. We only have about 89 likes. What are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? Tufishimie. But anyway, brothers, welcome. Brother Moses and Brother Siambuli, how are you guys doing? And mute yourselves, and let's have this conversation.
Yeah, Mr. Double, how are you? Thank you very much.
I'm very good. I'm Muti. Lovely. Gentlemen, one of you is having feedback. Look, guys, when you join, make sure you have either headsets or you're not really playing the sound via speakers. If you've got external speakers, turn it down, because it gives us the echo, the feedback. When I'm talking and I'm hearing myself, it kind of destroys the vibe of the show. So
good evening.
Good evening, Moses. How are you doing? Good evening, Moses. Hi. How are you? Hi, Moses.
Yes, hi. How are you?
I'm very good. Okay, what do you think about the Raphael Nakachinda and given Lubinda situation? You saw the video, right? All right, Moses, let's kick you out. Come back when you're ready. Yeah, we're having some issues. Mr. Siambuli, unmute yourself, and then let's try it one more time. All right, it seems we lost those people. So this is the problem that we have with regards to incorporating like a lot of people on the show. And I want to give as many people the opportunity to sort of voice out their opinions, but sometimes their gadgets, devices kind of fall short, and it really affects the show. Like, we're supposed to be punctual, like ready, but sometimes people's network is messed up. There's feedback coming through, so it kind of so I know why sometimes people just prefer having their own specific panelists. And I want to have as many people have the opportunity to give their opinions. Brother Moses, hi, welcome back. Did you sort out your gadgets and your internet?
Hello, I'm back.
Welcome back. So what do you think about Raphael Nakachinda and given Lubinda and PF? All right. Okay, Brother Moses, fix your internet, then come back. We'll add you when you fix your internet and your gadgets. Brother Oscar, how are you doing? Good evening, sir.
Hello, good evening, Una. Good evening.
Yes, finally, at least stable internet and punctuality.
How are you? Good evening, Zambians. Good evening, viewers.
Good evening. What are you doing on the streets? Yeah, always out and about. Like every time we're talking.
No, listen, I finished my work by 20 hours. Here it's just about to clock 20 hours, remaining with only 8 minutes. So I've just come out. And I'm going now, supposed to go home. So now I'm just coming out.
Okay, that's very good. So what do you think about the Raphael Nakachinda proclamations? Mr. Binoculars, he says President Hichilema is trying to intimidate the judges, and Zambia will potentially become a one-party state. What do you think about that?
You see, Mr. Muna, I think I would like to connect what we were discussing late last night,
Right.
when I was emphasizing on maybe focusing on what is the reality. You know, I was laughing this afternoon when I heard about that story, and you know, it makes me, well, somehow it makes me very sad. It makes me sad. I would say, Mr. Muna, it makes me very sad because all Zambians. I am a Zambian, so I cherish and I love all Zambians. I respect. Well, I might not love all of them, but I respect all the Zambians. I respect every Zambian's opinion, the choice of being part of one party and the other. So I respect. Apart from that respect, so I ask myself a question.
All right, brother Oscar. There's too many things going on in the background.
Nakachinda, yes.
There's too many things going on in the background.
Sorry,
so
can you
for
hear
the
me?
sake of our viewers, for the sake of our viewers, just go in a quieter place. It will be much better for us. So yeah, I'll bring you back, brother Jason. How are you doing?
Good evening, Brother Muna.
Good evening. So, brother Jason, how ironic is it that yesterday we had a very profound live stream? We were talking about cheap propaganda, politics in Zambia, and the mass psychology. So, what do you think about the latest development as far as the PF is concerned, and the recent accusations with regards to, President Hakainde, Hichilema, the judges, one-party state, etc.?
You can imagine, Brother Muna, the coincidence. And first of all, before I start giving out my views on what transpired this afternoon, you know, it was some sort of fun. And looking at the mode of politicking of Nakachinda, you know, it seems like drama. We have zoomed in, whatever, and the like. Something is talking about something which is not even substantial. Something actually, I don't know how I can put it. So let me just say good evening to you viewers. And like we were talking about yesterday, we emphasized much on cheap propaganda that African politics, I'm sure we are very far. And that's why it is our prayer to say we need to see some people coming into politics who are objective enough, who've got something substantial to tell the people to win the people's heart. We talked about influence and making a certain product popular. So this is what we are discussing. And sadly today, you know, instead of somebody just accept to say this has happened, and also be able to appreciate the restoration for once. For once, actually, you just have to appreciate the restoration to so much damage actually which happened. So now, when we talk of this propaganda, you know, actually, this is one of the things that has weakened African politics. This is one of the reasons actually, despite we having a lot of resources, despite we not only actually the minerals, even the human resource ourselves. We talked about, we were even talking about, I remember we quarreled much over Siawan and the like. So the only solution, these guys, whenever a competitor comes on board, look at what are some of the improvements that he has done. And how are we going to suppress the dominance of this certain product? The best thing to do is you just have to go back on the drawing board. You devise on how you are going to improve, not going to deteriorate whatsoever. That's why we disagreed much with Brother Mpombo when he emphasized much to say we need to educate. It is more or less like I come up with a similar product to Coca-Cola, then I'm just forcing people to say Murenwa, because actually the behavior of the consumer is whenever they see a new product, they have got that curiosity to say, let us look at this particular type of a product. And when they test and discover that it is not satisfying actually their wants, their needs, they are not going to keep supporting that type of a product. Now look at what Nakachinda is doing. If PF actually, they are a people actually who would want, like they are claiming to say, we need to bounce back in 2026. They have to sit down, observe at least for quite some time. Let them be able to observe the state of affairs on the ground. Not start politicking in a very negative way, to the extent of actually taking the vulnerables, people who are unable actually to analyze issues on how nations are supposed to be developed. They take advantage of them because they know that these guys, they don't have food. These guys, they have no proper information. Actually, even when we call them to say, let's go on the ground and rally behind the given Lubinda. Because somebody who is normal, Muna, when I reflect on the gassing, when I look on the death of those students, the UNZA student, when I look at those shootings, somebody sensible cannot even go behind and start supporting those nonsense. So what we are urging the politicians, especially those who are in the opposition, if they want to see this country, because it is not all about politicking, it is not all about actually selling the political party and making it actually become popular by propaganda. When you are in opposition, the way I understand it myself, an opposition political party, it should be something actually to give those objective checks and balances. Now look at, if a rule of law prevails, can somebody come out and say, no, the president actually is trying to compel the judges to say, you need to do this and that. Because that is too insightful, Brother Muna. And it can cause these the civil wars that we hear. Somebody has to be objective enough. You just have to be substantial enough. Even as you are talking, you need to accept certain things to say, okay, Tuarif Penya, and guys, this is what is happening. And if we are to maintain our opposition political party, these are some of the things that we should do. Not whereby you are disturbing in the name of opposing, because that is disturbance. And alarming the nation like others have talked about. They should be aware of guys Nakachinda. They claim to be learned. Their learning should not just end in articulating if sungu. Even as they are trying to mobilize the masses on the ground, let them also be conscious of the heritage of this country. Let them look at the future of this country. How are we going to outwork the colonial masters if we continue politicking in a mediocre way? Because at the end of the day, actually, it is the whole country actually which is going to be on fire at the end of the day. It is the economy of the country which is going to be dismantled. So we are urging the opposition political parties that even as we are coming here, we are not siding with anybody. No wonder we emphasize that if UPND make fumbles here and there, it is actually the Z corner which will start decampaigning them like Siawan did. Because yesterday we talked about we need some influential platform which should be talking on behalf of our people who are not able to come live and be able to contribute. So today Konkomesha Banakachinda appears to be learned. So there is an comedy politics awe. Comedy, the politics of ama comedy ari pita actually ya pwire patovu August. Epo ya pwire. We need ama politics ari substantial. Ama politics alachita include umwina Zambian onse. Brother Muna, excuse me, let me use a little bit of vernacular so that the same people they use actually can understand what we are trying to say here. Other guys about what they are trying to talk about, like Brother Oscar was saying concerning CR1. You know, manipulators are very difficult people actually to handle. When they know that this person I'm dealing with is blunt, a person that I'm dealing with is unable to analyze the statement that I'm feeding him, they take advantage to the extent that you even start covering up their wrongs. So today nieba komwe bantu mwe bali pa ground. Atelo today mune fintu fire chitika nga tuamona restoration. Let us try to compare, even as we are politicking, to say, were we able actually even to see a particular political party come online like that and being able to be talking like that in the period of PF? When so this time we are able to air our views, because somebody who is actually intelligent, if you have umufyashua kwa tamano alasuminisha abana ukulalanda, because the abana resuminisha, it is not abafyashiri green, they have got that ability techibalande soli nangu techibakuta shepa ya peni, but bali kwa taka reka understanding to say ya fumine muifwesa ya ya muchulu. That's what we say in Bemba. Direct translation, even a child, even a nobody can give wisdom to somebody who thinks that maybe is superior or the like. That's why we shouldn't take advantage of the freedom that is given, especially to the media platform. Let us ensure that we protect this. We don't want to see other infusion in this freedom that they have given us. We should understand, like the president was saying, to say, where someone's freedom ends, another person's freedom starts. Where someone's right ends, another person's rights starts. And where your rights ends, that's where now your responsibility starts. So as a responsible citizen, as a responsible opposition party, we need the opposition actually, which should be pushing this current sitting government actually, and to ensure that they are doing the right thing. But if we see a certain political party actually inciting violence, to make people actually start thinking of making uprisings which are not substantial, we will be talking. We shall never stop talking, because we want to see a change. A change, it should start with us. If you want to see a change, it should start with you. So Nakachinda and other political parties, we are saying we want to see the change, and let us build this country together. Taturefa ama politics yakula ya finyamunyamu gone are those days. Ama politics ya finyamunyamu, no. And if you look at ama levels ya party ilipo, tema levels ya komboni yawe, tatureponda, but we are just trying to educate you. Look at the standard, look at the freedom, look at the peace. So when a government try to portray a rule of law in a country, when a government tries to portray actually the separation of power, we should not take it as politics. That's no wonder today when if you know that only one candidate is able to clear, why should you be enrolling 400, 500 individuals when you know that only an individual is going to pass? Even a ZAILE is going to pass at the end of the day. So we want to see a Zambia. Muno mwine if you have to start Maya kuma UK, if you have to start Maya kuma Italy, ukoko brother Oscar, because brother Oscar, I'm sure barafwa okwisa kuno ku Zambia no kwisa mukita offer ama services yabo na my experiences yabo kuno ku Zambia. But look at what is obtaining on the ground. This is what is scaring actually even human resource out of the country, because there is no professionalism at all. So let us allow, in conclusion, I'm saying, let us allow professionalism actually to take its course. Let us allow the rule of law to take its course. Let us allow actually the separation of power to take its course. By so doing, we are going to see efficiency in the running of the affairs of this nation. Taturefayo kulachita drama chalo chino, and we should be thinking about our children's children. If China can come up with millennial goals, it means individuals, actually the members of the public, they are cooperative enough. A party in governance cannot sustain the developmental goals on its own. There must be people actually who are the masses, who are the members of the public, to support the goodwill. We have to rise up, speak against it. Supporters. You shouldn't be just a stunt supporter. You should be able to compare stories, because actually if you are a kind of a person who just want to hear a particular story, you don't want to concentrate on this other story, you become a victim of a change, because a change will appear as something harsh unto your life. So the only way you can benefit in a change is to be able to be comparing all the stories which are presented to us by this politician. But nga twafusenda ama Zambian tufusende nga filaba afusendere ba PF tature yafa fwebene bamwenye bakula senden drama ama Lebanese bakula senden drama ama Americans bakula senden drama. Why? Because we are in a state of confusion for too long. Twira kumbwe fyalo na kuama ku Tanzania na kuama ku Rwanda, but if we bali background tature fire ukuivimbamu. So we are encouraging the general public to say, mwebantu tuwombere pamo. Ababa politicians, we are not cadres. We are not paid whatsoever. Some of us actually, that's why we even left civil service, because we never wanted to die under our nose, because ndeti nawe nganalande finashana because chali tukalipa ukulamona ifyalo efyakoba chafuma munkondo mu 1994 chamichira more than 4 times. You can imagine why? Poor management. And management can only be effective, and management can only be delivered when the stakeholders actually they participate and they take part in that management. Thank you, Brother Muna. I'll join you later. I'll join you after some minutes.
All right. Okay, that was very profound. I'll be waiting for you. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be part of this conversation, kindly use the link which is pinned in the comment section below. That was Brother Jason coming through with that powerful knowledge, profound information, and now, Brother Jason, I don't know whether, because I need us to have this conversation. I need us to have this back and forth conversation with regards to the allegations that Raphael Nakachinda, made with regards to the one-party state. At this particular moment, right? Oh, before we jump into that conversation, please, if you are watching me right now and you can hear the voice that I'm using to project my vocal cords and all that good stuff, kindly share the video right now on your timeline and in 5 different Facebook groups, because it allows us to grow, it allows us to amplify our voices, and in the end everybody's going to benefit, because we are here not talking about selfish personal interests. We are here so that the majority of Zambians can really benefit. So we are trying to lobby for better economic policies. We're trying to make sure that all the Zambian entrepreneurs out there might be able to find an environment which can help them expand their businesses, grow, and just basically be able to compete on the world podium. So Z Corner is not just about Jason, it's not just about Oscar, it's not just about Muna, it's about everybody collectively. And this is one of the reasons why you need to rally behind us, and everybody has got a voice and everybody can participate. So if you are watching me, take 1 second of your busy life, share this video, share it, reshare it, spread it in many Facebook groups that you belong to. So anyway, Brother Jason, What I want to talk about is the fact that Nakachinda and the PF are talking about a one-party state. And the most interesting thing that we can, talk about is due to the fact that these guys lost the ball. They fumbled. They are being beaten fairly and squarely. So there is no way Raphael Nakachinda can be saying that the UPND and President Hakainde Hichilema is trying to impose a one-party state. You see, we are in a democratic environment whereby if the people love the UPND so much that they are rallying behind them and the majority of members of parliament are the UPND, that means that's what the people want. So it's up to them to elevate the bar and convince the Zambians to vote for PF and make sure that we've got a balanced type of, representation in parliament. But if they continue using these cheap propaganda and just basically worthless ways of advertising their political party and propelling their manifesto and their agenda to the people, everybody's going to be despising them. And what's going to happen? There's going to be lesser and lesser PF MPs in parliament, and they are going to be beaten fairly and squarely. And here on Z Corner, we do not want that to happen, but we understand the nature of our democratic environment. It's all about being the best candidate. The best candidates are going to be elected in parliament. But if you continue on this particular trajectory, you're going to lose even more popularity and you're going to lose more MPs. And what are you going to do? You're going to make the things that you are detesting come to fruition. And this is one of the reasons why I'm saying, look, one-party state, we do not want that to happen, but please do a better job at convincing the masses. So what do you think about the one-party state and the fact that they are being beaten fairly and squarely?
Yes, I think, Brother Mona, concerning that sentiment, in Bemba we say, Uwa watabulaka bepesho. When you are defeated, you always find something actually to cover up your defeat. But, an intelligent individual, when you fail, you should always remember that this is not the end of the day. This is not the end of everything. Actually, that failure, according to myself, I consider any failure as a stepping stone because it will actually show you to say, where did I go wrong? Where did I go wrong? Look, if we can look at what Nakachinda is saying, actually it's not true. Because actually, who did wanted this country to have a one-party state? It was the previous regime, which is the PF.
Imagine the audacity.
Yes, they never wanted the media like we are doing to come live like this. Brother Muna, paratwambira, ngabali nguma this time nganshashibano konaba. But I'm walking freely because I know that I'm protected by the state. I know that the police officer will not just be given a phone call, the officer in charge to say, go and arrest Jason there. He will be able to ask questions to say, why are we going to arrest Jason? Who did wanted to make this country a one-party state? It was the PF. Because look at the Kadarism. Whenever they hear that their opponent is holding a rally this side, they would make sure that they destabilize. You see? But Nakachinda, even when you are talking, you can be reflecting to say, how are we doing our game?
Council ni kalipwa. Confused council ni kalipwa.
Kafwirete kaba mokalia. Akakwebati. Pantuna unipala pen if it was in the time of the PF. Parabati kwatira meeting ngani UPND yenshita. Awe ngakatwishifya chitika. Look at the media freedom that we have. Honestly speaking, a party actually which desires to see this country to be a one-party state, it cannot allow other political parties to be saying whatever they would want to say. Look at Abena Shoni Tembo. Imagine. And if an individual can listen to what Nakachinda is saying, somebody must be bewitched, because you just have to look. Sean Tembo is able to speak today because when Sean Tembo after Woma, you remember what was happening. Maybe abantu tabare munefia rechtika. But for the people who were seeing what was happening under PF regime, they can agree with us that actually this political party which is governing us, it is not up to making this country a one-party state. Because everyone has that freedom actually to air and express him or herself. We are tolerating. The party is tolerating, because that's where you even get ama weaknesses yabantu. So now what they should know, if they are going to keep encouraging such type of politics, comedy. Ama Zambian this time around, actually they are shown, because they have learned to say bare saina macheki atina batwala omufundo ama bilioni bapakira. Ama Zambians na besukamenso. So cheap propaganda this time around, even the UPND, it is not going to work. UPND actually, it is under pressure, because they have to sustain the promises of employing 30,000 teachers and 20,000 nurses. If they are not going to do that, Zambians are watching. So cheap propaganda this time around, it is not going to work. It is not going to work in Zambia.
Yes.
All they need to do is to start. Yes.
Hold on. About Joseph Morishan. But Joseph, so gentlemen, as much as we want to include everybody, as much as we want everybody to participate, look at my brother Jason. Sorry, my brother Joseph. Yeah, there's about 400 people, over 400 people watching. Can you imagine you go in an auditorium and you see and there are 400 people. Imagine 400 people in one room. You go there without a shirt. You're eating, you're moving your phone. Surely, guys, come on, let's add the professionalism at least. As much as we want to include everybody, when you come on the program, be mindful that these are not just numbers. There are people watching you. There's over 400 people watching. You're shirtless, you're eating, you're moving around. It's not really a good look, guys. So as much as we want everybody to participate, please respect the viewers and everybody watching. When you come, be prepared, be dressed, be ready. People are watching. So I have to, let's kick him out. Anyway, brother Jason, continue. Then we'll pass it on to...
Well, I think in my concluding results, I should also talk to the fellow members of the public. You know that it is our responsibility actually to decipher, brother Muna, to analyze actually whatever propaganda that comes on air, to say, is this true? That's why, if we should even be actually telling because PF actually, they tried a lot of things. Look at tribal speech which they made against UPND. Look at that. But if you look at the voting pattern which came out, it was apparent to say Zambians are no longer bought by cheap propaganda, because every province actually voted. They voted. So let us remind even the political parties that if you are going to come up with cheap propaganda, actually, abantu this time, brother Muna, because me where I'm found, I meet a lot of people, different people. You can hear to say, "Ngai sakuli afe mkwai." Bushefi arech tika filamati chua tontonganya, you can even support such a political party. People this time around, they have woken up. So politicians, it is not going to help you by telling people cheap propaganda. It is not going to help you by using character assassination. Tell people what you are going to do. It is like twami takuma interviews. What do you think you can contribute to this company? Nifi nshofo mwinga chitapopo tulefwaya. Not mwaisa mu company, mwaisa mu kusonta tawe, ba MD, umona mone nyofo bare moneka, kulefwaya kwa MD, ule moneka kwa, those things are useless. Talk about things actually that is going to help the country move forward when you come. If you happen to be a president of this country, those are the issues that actually we need. Zambians are no longer going to be bought by tribal speech. Zambians are not going to be bought by actually cheap propaganda. Zambians this time around, kwalisa na mafoni. Na kuine kumushi, we see people who watch from Mpika, abantu abatamba, kufuma kukawambwa, kukwakaputa. People are learned this time around. So we are urging politicians to say, let us be objective this time around. Because even Zambians, they would want this country to be like South Africa. Zambians would want this country to be like Rwanda. Zambians would want this country to see the change actually, which has happened in TZ. Tabarefwaya kulapita mu matipa ama Zambianzi tabefwaya abana babo bale ikala pamabwe mu ma classrooms. Ama Zambianzi, they want that proper education system. Zambians actually, they would need somebody, a president who can include every entrepreneur, such that even if that entrepreneur joins politics, tabachite cramp down ka business ngafyatua mwene abafyashi besu bakambwiri babe katira pama business ichere kusumina vyatao guys dekeni ndande mwamonaka. So ama Zambian this time around, they are not going to be bought by cheap propaganda. Zambians have waken up. Zambians have got these platforms which are actually opening their minds. And we are so happy because the party actually in government ka exposure poka bakalia, because in as much as they want people actually to participate in business, they would also want information. This is the information actually we are giving to people. So in my conclusion, let me just say, if we have a game, if you are marketing a product, that market product iripa market yali selling. What you should do is you need to find ways and means to improve on your product. So we are talking to you politicians, especially those who are in opposition and who are aspiring various civic positions, that make sure that you go onto your drawing boards, improve your products, which are the political parties, so that they become competitive as UPND. Zambians themselves, they will be testing to say, tumfweko DP. DP ni finshi ikwete, ngawasa sangata DP taile mfike efi mfika Coca-Cola. Abantu balabwerera kuli Coca-Cola tawo. So tule mipera ma practical example. Fyafine mwamboku nwa Pepsi, Coca-Cola mwaimwena mu, baba monata, nga tuapango tumabotoro tunono kachi ni ba Coca-Cola, taya kulaenda. So ba Pepsi strategy babo, mjabali leta kwa mabotoro efukuru. So that umuntu ngano na ngwachikwa techila kachashani. Aunfa wino. Those are the type of politics that Zambians need. Because Zambians this time around, they have woken up. They are no longer in slumber. Thank you so much, Brother Buna.
All right. Okay, Brother Jason. So let's pass it over to our brother, Leonard Chiwala. Welcome to the show, sir. How are you doing? Unmute yourself. Yes.
I'm good. How are you, Muna? How are you?
Very good. It's refreshing to see somebody who's here for the first time. You're ready. You're professional. I love that. I love that. So what's your contribution?
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me through. Thank you for having me through. First and foremost, you know what, Mona? I've been disappointed with the Zambian journalists so far. They're the first people that I can blame. You see, as a journalist, they need to be professional. They need to look at the people they can call and ask on some issues concerning the nation. As a normal journalist, you can't call a person like this joker, Mr. Sean Tembo. Sorry. That man, it's going to be tough for Zambians to look at him as an opposition leader because he has never said something sensible concerning the checks and balancing that the government needs. That's the first thing. Secondly, people like Nakachinda, given Lubinda, those are people who failed us. Those people that failed. Those people, even if they're accusing President HH and his counterparts to say they want to make Zambia as a one-part state, that's a cheap propaganda, and I'm very sure that my fellow Zambians can't buy that. As we are right now, they shouldn't forget the fact that the majority of Zambians who voted are youths, and the majority of those youths are educated. That's one thing they shouldn't forget. Secondly, it's very annoying to see to it that you have a whole lot of given Lubinda who's been in government and in politics for a long period of time to still be out there making noise the way he's making noise outside there, trying to blame a person who has given them the freedom of speech that we never had in the PF regime. To be honest enough, I'm super excited that the PF is out, and my prayer is that that part may it never come back to life in Siawani's voice.
Plus the spiritual laughter. You're funny.
Yes, the spiritual laughter. Like, you know what? I've been following these journalists. They're the first, and one thing that I've liked about you, Mona, you've always been on point on the things that you come up about and things that you try and air by your means.
But I'm not a journalist. I'm not a journalist. I'm just a regular blogger.
You're just a regular blogger, but you're more professional. Yeah, you're more professional than most journalists that I get to view and watch. You'd find the journalist is even busy interviewing Raphael Nakachinda, a failed politician of that matter. They will be there busy going to people like Chimba Kambwili. Chimba Kambwili, one full-grown father who was busy spearheading tribalism. Like in this generation, in this era, a person should be there speaking about tribalism. It's just that I don't know. It's just that I've never had time to sit down with my friends who've done. If there was a situation whereby we can have Chimba Kambwili for his tribal remarks that he was making, that he can be called to court, I think I would have been one person who would have actually pushed forward to have him sued and apologize to the nation. If it means him to pay, I would have made sure that he pays. Like really, in this generation, someone should stand and say, these people from this side, they love each other. Okay, now let's talk on this point over. HH has appointed his cabinet. It looks well balanced. They will cry foul to say, no, he has never appointed one from the north. I mean, did the people from the north, did they give the UPND any member of parliament for them to be represented? No. Secondly, the people that disappointed me the most in these general elections are people from Kabushi. Sorry to say this. Those people disappointed me. Like a normal citizen, normal youth would go and vote for Bowman or some who called us disgruntled.
Yeah, but that seat has been nullified with regards to you know, election malpractices. So dubious means so that one, you know, maybe the Kavushi people voted for another person, another candidate, but you know, the Bowmans did what they had to do. They had to be sneaky, so you can't entirely blame the Kavushi people. But anyway, continue.
That's my prayer. That's my prayer. And I hope and pray that they never voted for that man. I know he spent a lot. He used to buy them fuel. Watch that on TV. He bought them fuel. He would take taxi drivers on the filling stations. Kudos to those guys who had an opportunity to eat that man. That was government man. That was our taxpayers man. That was our taxpayers man. And listen, at this point that we are faced with these challenges, and people and those who can't understand, they tend to think as no, the UPND has failed. People, it's just 2 months and some days. I don't know if it's 3 months. Those guys, we gave them a 10 years, a good solid 10 years. A child has been born, is even now in grade 3 or 4. What sensible thing are they going to talk about the people? Nothing. The PF was a party that no Zambian citizen would talk freely about politics, much less if they've been in civil service. I've got friends of mine who are in the civil service. You're just trying to bring up anything political. I'm a government worker. I was unpatient. Like really? Is that a nation that would want to see come back to life again? No. I'm proud right now that if I meet up with my friends who are in the civil service, the way they talk about politics, the way they comment on Facebook, on any platform right now, they comment freely. They know that whatever they say, a listening government will listen to what the people are saying from the background. Quite okay, a government can't do everything 100%. They'll have where they will fail. But the thing is, let's look to it that how are we going to help our government do the most? Like imagine normal people, we've always had, is it 1.6 million in the constituency development? Someone brings about 25.6, they're there going against. Like where sorry to use this word for lack of better terms, where Honorable Bowman showed me his high level of ignorance, saying, in my constituency, I only have 2 people that are reasonable. That 25 point something can't be brought in to just be wasted. Like really?
That's
a full-grown.
That's a very interesting term that you used. Showing your high levels of ignorance, and this also. Sorry for cutting your, for cutting you off. I just want to find out from you. Do you think the main opposition political party that we have, the Patriotic Front, do you think they have time to do self introspection and find out what they did wrong and probably try to make amendments? Because the trajectory they are going in, it seems they didn't learn anything from what happened.
Mona, there's a quote that I'm trying to quote from.
Leonard, I think we're having internet issues. All right, so Leonard will probably be back. His network is probably just buffering. He'll be back very soon. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was a very interesting person to talk to. Even for you, the viewers, at least you really enjoyed listening to him talk on that type of conversation that we had. So this is what I want, ladies and gentlemen. So as much as we want to keep the lines open so that anybody can join us, at least when you come to Z Corner, be on point, be sober, make sure you're at least properly dressed, and make sure that you know what you're talking about. Don't come here and then keep on saying, hello, can you hear me? Get to the point, say your points, and let's keep it moving, because there's a lot of other people watching us, and you have to be mindful of how you portray yourself and just basically how you present your family, basically. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, these are the topics that we are having. Did the PF learn anything? And the reason why we keep on talking about the Patriotic Front is, we have a lot of history with regards to the Patriotic Front, and they are the largest opposition political party. And at this particular moment, right, with regards to the UPND, when it came to the IMF deal, we did talk about that. With regards to a lot of different things that they're doing, a lot of reshuffles, changes, we always talk about that, So we're trying to keep it neutral, balanced, because by the end of it all, I do understand a lot of people, even a lot of you viewers out there, you are UPND sympathizers, so there's always that little bit of biasness coming through. So sometimes you just have to go the extra mile just to keep the information balanced. But anyway, Leonard is back. Welcome back, sir. So what were you saying?
Oh, sorry. I had a network challenge there. So I tried to borrow some words where Albert Einstein said, we have a number of fools that can rule the world, the whole world, and like few wise men. Like, listen, the PF, what I've just seen in the PF, it's a group of, sorry for lack of better term, it's a group of ignorant people who don't want to be taught, who don't want to reflect on the things they've done wrong and right. There are people who are too pompous, who feels as though what they've done was perfect and they have no regret and remorse over it. Like a simple example I can give you. There was a time that Stephen Kampiong was asked to, what I think I've forgotten the time when he was asked. He was asked to say, do you regret or do you have anything that you would regret as the Minister of Home Affairs, according to the way you ruled everything? He said, I don't regret anything, and if I was to be given back that power, I'd still do the same. And then now you look at the people who complained a lot about police brutality, the lives that we lost, a person goes on to say, I regret nothing, I'll still do what I did even more. Like really, we lost innocent lives in the PF regime. Just for rest in peace. We had Frankie Mugara, the likes of Nsama. You've seen, we've lost people who were too productive, people who helped the economy grow in either ways. In cold blood, it never mattered to them. It's more like those people that were useless. Even a dog, if you've been keeping a dog at home, you've kept it from, as it was a puppy, it grows up, you've been feeding it. The time that it gets sick, there's that thing that you get to feel as the owner. And if it dies, there's that thing that you get to have, you know, that attachment. But those people, they were never just attached with the Zambian people. The only thing that they cared about was them, go there, enrich themselves. They don't care about people who are suffering. Like in the PF regime, only a minority benefited, the majority suffered. The majority suffered, and I repeat this way, the majority suffered. And it pains me to see my fellow youth who be there defending the PF. No, PF to Aliwino than this, like this guy at, what's his name, Simokoko, whatever, that PF youth activist, the one they mainly call on interviews. I always look at those just like, are these guys really normal, or they are lacking some professionalism? Look at people, you need to bring people that will give you normal checks and balances. Like right now, the only people that I've seen who are bringing normal checks and balancing, I think I would say Dr. Nevas Mumba. I don't know if it's because he's got that high level of maturity in him in politics, and him being a man of God, and him being a father. He's one of the people who brings that thing, and even says, my aim is not to see the UPND fail. My aim is to see that they make it. They're not making it on their own, but they're making it for the betterment of the Zambian people.
Yes, and people are able to decipher when a person is bitter and when a person is has got best interest for the nation. Just like you cited, right? Dr. Nevas Mumba is very blatant to see he genuinely wants Zambia to participate, to progress and just be better. But anyway, go on.
So I get to wonder sometimes, at least Halikala has been quiet, though he comes out vocal on issues that are at least making sense. We can say if he also works hard, he can be the next big political party that we would have in Zambia as at now, because he seems to be reasonable.
Yes, Halikala has got a very good chance, and he's got a very good record because he quit at the height of his career and when there was corruption. So to me, Harry Kalaba has got a very good chance to redeem himself. But at this particular moment, he just needs to sort out the mess with the DP. He just needs to correct that situation. Otherwise, he's got a clean slate. You know, there's very few people who can quit when they are being exposed to having to grow their career. They've got their everything is vibrant, and then they just remove themselves from that particular situation. So he's got a very great opportunity to make a name for himself. But anyway, go on.
Actually, what you said is the truth. I got to meet Mr. Halikala by the time that he resigned. There was this day when I was invited by my aunt at his church. I don't know if it's called Fire Ministries by Blaise Kazari. I got to meet him. He's just cool. Like, one thing that I liked from him, and what I would say I idolized from him, is a situation whereby he resigned from the position that had everything. Like, I repeat, everything. He resigned. He said there is too much corruption. There is rampant corruption in the PF. He didn't look at it to say these people can cage me, these people, they can bring me down. He went on say these guys are corrupt and I'm not going to be part of this corrupt regime. And he stood on his two grounds. Like, you get, he made sure that he stood on his two grounds. That's one thing that I admire from him. And the only thing that is needed there is let him sort out the DP thingy, and then he needs to have quite good people to help him balance the party. Initially, I won't lie to you, Mona. I'm one of the people who's loved politics from childhood, and growing up, my secondary school teachers even told me, after this, go and do political science. You have a future in politics. I even feel, say, the time that you would want to serve in public office, I think the part that would stand in that would be the DP then. as the UPND are slowly and giving us a show to say they're raising the bar high for all those who wants to seek public offices. In the near future.
Definitely, and you're right. Sorry for cutting you off. And this is why we need to have people of integrity and people who've got the heart for Zambia to participate. Because if you are educated, you're exposed, and then you do not participate in politics, right? We're going to have people like Bowman Lusambo taking over, and everything is going to go down. So that's why people like you need to participate. You can participate at any level. You know, you can participate and make Zambia better. So we need people who are full of integrity, people who are wise to participate.
Like imagine Muna, if we're just going to rate the UPND members of parliament from way back and the PF members of parliament from way back, we start putting them one-on-one and just look at the way they've been debating from parliament, you're going to agree with me to say the UPND, they've always sounded to be wise people, unlike the PF guys. I'm not going. Let's go back to the SG, the former SG of PF and the SG of UPND. You're going to see the difference, and you're going to see a person who had. You're going to see a person who had that level of maturity and wanted to see Zambia to grow, and the person who just never cared about anything. The former PF SGs, one of them, I still remember very well, there was a time when he went to Kabwe and he told the cadres to say, what are you still waiting for to take over markets and bus stations when your friends in Osaka, they already did that. And lucky enough, that time when we said that, they were properly beaten by the taxi drivers in Kabwe. That was the good thing that happened. They were beaten and they couldn't take over those markets. Now imagine a leader at his awful size saying things like that. It showed that the Zambians, we lacked leadership, we lacked quality of leadership. Imagine the likes of Bowman Lusambo as a leader. Stephen Kampion, he himself is still a cadre. That one you can even just get from the way he comes out. That man is still a cadre, a full-time cadre. Like, look at the members of parliament we had, like that one, the one who was from Lundazi, who was like, Mafana, when Jack Mwimbu, Edgar Lungu is working, he has made it.
Masauso, is it Masauso Banda or something from Sinda MP?
Munvera Mafana oko. He can't did it in 1 year. Like what? He has did it in 1 year, and then Mukamba Kamba, which government that has done it? Like, people, I laugh, and then I get to hear
that is what happens when people of integrity do not participate. You understand? So this is one of the reasons why we have to make sure making governance roles popular and cool, so that we can have people of sound mind, taking part, and so that people can be able to decipher. Let's say, for example, we put Bowman Lusambo with any UPND member, even Muvita Nawa, who doesn't have any post. Bowman Lusambo will be washed. He will be dehydrated as hell. He can't have a good conversation with Muvita Nawa on an intellectual level and articulating issues. Zero. So that's why people need to participate.
It's evident enough, man. If you can go back and watch all the interviews that Bowman Lusambo were interviewed, they were all ending with, you will listen, you will listen.
So you want the economy to improve. So you want the minimum to be at 20.
So you want the minimum to be at 20. What can it happen? Hey, how? Like, really, I was even laughing. There was another time when I think I was listening to Mr. Chimbakamwe. I no longer call them doctor, because those are people I thought they had integrity, but they don't.
Yes, let's talk about Chimbakamwe. What do you think about that man? Because he's got attributes of making it, but sometimes he just goes 10 steps behind. He just messed up in the last parts of the race.
You know what I can talk about Chimbakambwili. He's more like those Israelites who were caged in Egypt. Those who are caged, after Moses went and freed them, the moment they reached to the other side, instead of them believing in Moses who saved them, they started crying for a God that they can see, that they can be able to talk to. Like Chimbakambwiri, after the time that his seat was nullified and everything, he had become a political figure that was influential, that people even looked to say,
Yes.
okay, this guy, this man's got potential to be someone here in Zambia. Like the majority even say we've got a vocal, I won't say the majority, I said we've got a vocal Chimbakambwiri. Even the UPND, the time they tried to approach him to be the vice president, I was like, okay, quite okay. This guy is going to bring in numbers in the UPND that we are lacking. You get, huh? But all of a sudden, he was just squeezed within some few corners, squeezed. Some few, I'd say, Baba Fuandreko Fepanol, but chop.
Yeah.
No, I never knew Edgar Lungu and I never knew how a good person he is, because he was what? He was squeezed there. When all of us would get to say, don't use political power to squeeze your friends. Like that man was just squeezed within a few period of time. What did he do? He went on, started preaching propaganda, because he wanted to be
used.
very used. Like you saw what he did after he was just welcomed in the PF. His court cases started becoming a little bit softer, then even became more of a tribalist.
Yes, he became louder. He lost his brain cells.
That people even stopped paying attention to him. He never even cared. He was just busy there, blabbing, saying, like, I was disappointed. Like with myself, Mona, sorry to tell you this, I'm a mixed breeder. Dad is from Eastern, mom is from Southern.
Right.
And then I'm one person who stayed to Luapula. I stayed in Luapula for over 8 months. That was in 2012. I just left Northwestern last month on the 18th. I've stayed there in Western Province. I was in Mongo for 6 months, then I went to Senanga. I've stayed in Senanga for over 2 years, but I'm back now. I'm in Lusaka, specifically in Kafue. I'm one person, Mona, who can't be told to say people from Wapula, they're like this, and I get to believe before I meet them and sit with them. Ask me today about people from Wapula, I'll tell them how I know them to the perspective that I lived with them, interacted with them, ate and joked with them. I'm from Western Province now. I know how those people are. I know what they treasure the most. I know how you can joke and how you can partner with them. Obviously, mom, she's from Southern. I've been to Southern before. The last time I was there, it was in 2001. I still remember how people was. I'm from Eastern, but I'm a Lusaka Eastern, and it's okay with that. So I was very much disappointed to see to it that a father like Chimbakambwiri, who at some point dreams to rule Zambia, started speaking hateful speech over tribal remarks. A same person who went and apologized again. You see why I'm saying that the PF has that seed of people who don't learn from the mistakes they've done. Like, honestly, Chimbakambwiri himself.
But do you think that was their campaign strategy? They sat down around the round table and said, look, Chimbakambwiri, your goal is go and talk this tribalism. And when we do this, I'm telling you, they'll vote for us in numbers. Was that their main, objective? And who comes up with these things?
Man, like those people, they sat down and wanted to use tribalism because they always thought to say from the northern, they'll get the huge chunk as long as they say the Tongas, the Lozis, these people are selfish. All they thought was that.
So again, the internet is disturbing us a little bit. So Brother Leonard, come back once you reset, then you'll be good to go. I can see the youth advocate Wamukabushi is here, so just turn on your video and then we're going to be able to add you. So remember, people are asking how they can be added. So the drill is usually the same. We've got the same criteria. The link is always in the comment section and it is always pinned. So it's the same instructions that we have. If you want to join, use that particular link. And ladies and gentlemen, viewers, and everybody who's watching us right now, kindly share the video, because we only have about 42 shares. We need to have about at least 100 shares. So if you are watching us, please reshare this stream, or rather share this stream on your timeline and in 5 different Facebook groups that you belong to, because it does help us, expand and grow and just have a bigger audience. So like this video. In case you're watching us and you didn't get the chance to do that, please like the video and give us your opinions, because we are reading. For example, Hakainde says PF is just useless. Das says, and I quote, politicking in a mediocre way. And basically we are able to broadcast your comments as well. So in case you don't want to be with us using the live stream or joining us via video, you can always drop us a comment and just add your opinion to our conversations. Brother Leonard, you're back.
I'm back. I had an interrupted phone because I just had to hang out.
Oh yeah.
So what I was saying, those people, they sat on a very big table where they had lots of money to distribute, and said, man, Chimbakambwiri are too vocal. The next thing I want from you is to be spitting tribalism at all corners. Because Mona, even the person who was in the PF, who was the most educated person in the PF, can you tell me her name if you remember?
No.
Professor Nkanduluo.
Oh, you mean all right? Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yes, Professor Nkanduluo, and you couldn't differentiate Professor Nkanduluo and Bowman Lusambo. There was no difference. So this is the Patriotic Front has got a way of changing people. Once you join Patriotic Front, you just lose all your brain cells. I couldn't even think of Professor Nkanduluo as one of the, the first PhD holder in Zambia with regards to females. I didn't even know. Thanks for reminding us. Anyway, go on.
So you see, we had the PhD holder and the PF. One of the people who hasn't just been in Zambia, who has even stayed abroad, who has seen how other countries are being governed and run. There she came in Zambia, found herself in a group of people. Sorry, I wanted to use this word nati, but I'm trying to look for a better term. She's one of the people who spoke of tribalism again, despite being educated. I still remember in Chilubi, where she said, how can you go and vote for someone who more like Mwana Malayambi, Mwana Malayambi. And then so unfortunate that our father, the former president, Mr. Edgar Chagwa, he was too reluctant also over tribalism. He just goes to parliament. When tribalism is not allowed in Zambia, when his subordinates are the ones who are in the forefront, instead of pointing out them, say, Madam Kanduluo, the remarks that you made this place, it should be last. Can you apologize to the people of Zambia? He calls on these other, but he never did that. He only went there with a written speech by someone else who just told him, boss, he reads, he's even dancing there. I mean, Zambia, sorry to use this term, Zambia was given to dogs, man. It's a pity. It's a bit like, Mona, I reached to a point where I thought like going to school, going to furthering studies, it was a wastage of time. The only thing that was needed was connections. Who do you know among these big PF members who can drag you into a good position in PF? Like, did you see how education got to lose value within the 7 years tenure of Mr. Edgar Chagwa? Education became useless, totally useless. People who are educated, they complained a lot than cadres. Imagine a cadre goes to a station, Avalana Chijombocha, black, a polisher, is going there bouncing as if he's a soldier, is even called commander. Commander, do you know the training those guys go through for them to be called commander, commando? You're just a cadre. Okay, our country was messed up, man. Our country was messed up, and if it's Chimbakambwiri thinking on coming back to a big platform of politics, he should find a better, or else he's also a finished politicians. Chimbakambwili, GBM, those are finished, recycled politicians who I wouldn't want to see a light of the day in politics. I'd prefer they just go to farm, do their farming, they go quiet like that.
So
That's
what do
the
you think
best thing they
about
can
people
do.
like the former Zambian South African ambassador? I hope I'm getting the term right now. I'm getting confused. Emmanuel Mwamba. What do you think about him? Because just like I keep on saying, right, I've got a soft spot for him. But to me, I really decipher, or rather separate men with their company. If you are a certain man of a certain thinking, or rather your the power of association, basically, you know, if you are full of integrity, there's no way you're going to condone despicable things happening. You have to find a way of either removing yourself from that particular crowd, that particular circle, and just doing better in terms of who you associate with. So with that said, what do you think about Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba and his political trajectory?
Man, Emmanuel Mwamba is of no difference to Davis Chama or Davis Mwira. It's just that I'm sure the position he was given, it's one thing that helped him to look as if he's one of those people who have integrity. Like, man, I'm not ashamed today to tell you, in the PF, there is one person who until now, not that man, he still stands on his integrity. This one, Vincent, the former sports whatever,
Vincent Mwale.
Mwale.
Yes. I've never seen any scandal with Vincent Mwale. Barely. Clean slates, even though being, you know, mingling with despicable people, still kept his composure, his cool. I've never, that's a very profound point. I've never found anything about Vincent Mwale, you know, Vincent Mwale. Yeah, but anyway, go on.
Vincent Mwale until today, even if he was to win, him being given a position despite being in the opposition, I don't think the majority of Zambians would complain. He was a person who was about business. Even during his debate in parliament, he was on point on the things that were cardinal to the development of Zambia. The time that the Luangwa River Bridge won out, he just said, oh, in this period of time, we're going to work. That man has always had that sense of humor. He has been sound. You get there are those people who would say he interacts with fools, but he's not a fool. Yes. He knows how to handle those fools, and he knows how to handle people with dignity and integrity. Right. Emmanuel Mwamba is just the position that he was given to be an ambassador, and you know, once he has taken to, he's a Zambian, huh? He was taken to South Africa. So he couldn't get that Kamunguru from Zambia, go with it in South Africa. He knows those people, they don't play. Eh? I'm fair to. This is not Zambia. I corner, man. As simple as that. So he tried by all means. He tried by all means the time he was in SA to show as if he was a person with dignity. But later on, after being stripped off of the position, he has started showing us his true colors. But
yes, the true colors. So his position actually saved him. He was away from Zambia, and it really helped save his personality. But now that he's back, today Sabuka, you know, like those exhibitions are being let loose, you know. So it was a good thing that he was an ambassador and away from Zambia for like a very long period of time.
There's no honey now. You get that? But if bread night do any fiumbo, the point we are heading to Kuria won't say fiumbo. They've now started showing their true colors. Like, man, like Tutwanguru was one of the people that I hated when he was in opposition, but I just got to learn that that guy was just a politician. After he saw things didn't go their way, he went to the Zambian people, apologized and congratulated President HH, and for now he has been quiet, huh?
Yes, his
I think
the other day he just posted something. He said Zambians are regretting that they voted for Hakainde Hichilema. Well, prior to that, he was, you know, staying low, being on the low, just like that. But again, the PF effect, it has got a way of you know, making you go crazy. But with regards to the point that you raised, right? With regards to the point of being a politician, I do not entirely agree that you just have to politic anyhow. You know, if as much as you want to score points and, you know, like have an impact, there has to be a level of maturity, and the way that you maneuver and do things has to be different from the regular, you know, bootleg politician. So as much as you want to politic, same thing with Sean Tembo. Sean Tembo has got some points that he has, but the way that he presents it, it just destroys the whole vibe. You know, so as much as you want to be famous or infamous, you have to know how to, you know, keep your integrity intact, because we're going to be analyzing, and trust me, the people who voted in 2021, they're going to be here for a very long period of time. Max, you know, minimum 20 years, they're still going to be actively participating in voting. So who's going to vote for you when the people who voted in 2021 are, you know, like 35, below 40 etc? They're going to remember your character, you know. But anyway, go on.
Like you know, it's funny. I don't know how I can come about. You see, Muna, one thing that our Zambian politicians don't look at it is, you see, if you hear how these our friends, Western rich people, or just our local well-to-do people, huh? They say if you want to be successful, Mona, first and foremost, behave like someone who is successful already, dress like someone who is successful already, speak like someone who is successful already. Are you getting those points, huh? They want you to start feeling that thing before you're already into that stage, or that whole move, you get. But someone wants to be considered as an opposition. The things that the points that is coming out with, they're not those points that would build someone today. Imagine a full-grown man comes to say the drought of the lands stands to question the Christianity of President Hakainde Hichilema. Like, man, we've all been taught to say we've got.
No, go on.
Sorry.
No, I was just saying.
Yeah, so like you.
No, go on.
So it's a situation whereby you get to start asking, is this man okay in his brains? Like, does he have to start involving some sort of nature to Christianity? Quite okay, nature and Christianity, they've got a path they can move on. But at some point, it's simple. If you want to go Christianically or religiously, Mona, I can easily say, you guys are complaining that it's not raining. Quite okay, we're going to have hunger next year. But at some point, we're being saved from this COVID, which is being spread around to say there's this variant, it multiplies a lot once it's cold. We're saved, we're in a hot situation. We're in a hot country that is not experiencing any cold. It means we're somehow being saved from what? From that same COVID variant, whatever they've discovered. You see now? If you want to go on and believe in saying this is the reason why it hasn't been raining, we ask these people who do it whether they're going to give us their own point and perspective. They'll say, no, the reason is that the greenhouse has grown too big. This is why we're telling you to avoid deforestation. Those simple logic things. Usually in Zambia, we still have people who have everything, but they still go and buy charcoal. Where are we getting charcoal? Are we planting trees every year that grow within 6 months or 3 months that we cut them down after that? No. It takes about 10 years, 15 years for a tree to be called a tree, and a big tree that can produce charcoal. We have all those situations. Then a full-grown opposition goes on to say, it brings to a question of the Christianity of the Republican president with this kind of drought. Man, we've got bigger issues to look at. We've got people who have been involved.
Yes. Sorry, finish your thought, then I'll chime in. Finish your thought.
So like the opposition members that we have in Zambia so far, none of them, I think I can just go for Harikara to say, let him sort out his own issues with the DP, and let him come up with some good structures, let him provide checks and balancings that are making sense, let him be vocal where it's possible, not just because he is an opposition, needs to oppose anything. Like, imagine people that are expected to support to say, Vane, since you are increasing the funds, the community development funds to 25.7, which is a good thing. We've been shortfall because we've never had resources. Like today, Mona, let's be factual here. They're blaming the UPND to say they've gone back to the IMF, the PF have been running out. The PF didn't run out from the IMF. Here's the truth. The PF failed to acquire that money from the IMF because they were not trusted. They showed that these people are not capable of paying back. Once they're given that money, they're just going to share among themselves, build 2 roads. Like imagine that Ndola Lusaka Dual Carriageway. How many times has that road been serviced? Wasting taxpayers' money. In PF, that reached a point whereby whoever comes up with a way on sourcing out money from Zambians through tax, that person is intelligent, it's good to go. All along, they've been lying to us. They've been selling fuel on a different price than what they've been ordering. What have they been doing? They've been wasting the taxpayers' money. They would have taken that money to different sectors. Like Mona, I don't remember when last, if I don't recall, within the late Mwanawasa or Pia Banda regime, where government took keen interest in getting those youngsters as street kids from streets, took them to school. They started taking care of it. I don't remember when last that thing happened. And we've had people who've amassed millions upon millions over nothing. Then you have people like Nakachinda comes in with the binoculars as if he's zooming his life in a 12 AD darkness times. Like, man, we have better things to look at. At this point in time, we need to look to it. Whenever I pass through the street, I see youngsters with a bottle of Jenkem, that's Bostik. We need those boys to school. Some of them, they've got talent. Some of them, they're gifted with something. They just need that government that is going to look through into them. How best can we help them? But instead, no. But man, I think in conclusion, I can just say, Zambians, this freedom that we fought on the 12th of August, it was a well-deserved victory. Or else, when I even reached a point of telling a friend of mine who's in the USA, we're in the same class with from 10, 12, she used to tell me, Leo, get a passport and ABCD. I told her, say, once these guys are declared as winners, I won't even hesitate that at least I've got a
Yeah, I think that's that internet happening again. So, brother Leonard, just come back one more time because we were having a very interesting conversation. So that's our brother Leonard. Yeah, I hope I'm pronouncing the name right. So yeah, profound conversations, interesting, and this is what we want as Z Corner. We want people to have the ability to talk, and the way we're just flowing, it's like we've known each other for like a very long period of time, So this is the concept of Z Corner. Everybody can come here, give their opinions, and just basically let it all out. I'm sure he even feels 10 times better because he's venting all these years of the patriotic front, bad things happening. He's got an opportunity to let it all out. Once we do that, right, we're going to have very good citizens with very good mental states. So this is one of the reasons why freedom of the media and freedom of expression is very important. So brother Leonard, welcome back.
Yeah, I received another phone call that was interrupting. So one thing, Muna, is that the other thing that is killing, it's a good thing that presentation.
No. Can you undo that? The volume is muffled. The sound is muffled. So just elevate your phone so that the speaker can't be obstructed because we can barely get you.
Can you get me now?
Yeah, this is better. This is way much. This is good. Okay, cool. Continue.
All right. So as I was saying, is that we should be glad to say that we have a president who acknowledges the freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and a person who looks out to human rights at any given place, who says why your rights ends there, that's where your friends starts. If in the PF regime, these Nakachindas where would they be speaking the way they're speaking right now? It's because of the freedom of speech. And I've liked the way Chilufya Tayali has now become, I'll use the term, a little bit better of a matured politician. Huh?
But Chilufya Tayali, it depends on who's producing the check. Now, I really, I'm friends. I know Chilufya Tayali, and I'm sure he does watch us. But it is what it is. But Chilufya Tayali depends on who's producing the check and how much you're offering him. He can switch anytime.
Any given time, man. But at least we know that guy, whoever will pay him better, he's going to do that. But there are times that, but there are times that he comes out frankly and say, guys, this is this and this, just because of politics. Let's not politicize anything in ABCD. At least at this point in time, there's that growth in him, despite being a brown
doing that. But him doing that neutralizes his effectiveness. You know, he can really expand his, fan base and just make a huge impact and really get massive support from everybody. But the thing is, he's hot, he's cold, and he's just an unreliable person, you know. So he's really missing a lot of money, and he's leaving a lot of money on the table by always zigzagging and not standing for something solid, you know. So that's why it's hard. That's why it's even hard for him probably to fundraise and garner the financial support in order for him to propel his political party, because of the same hotness and coldness. He's all over the place. I mean, brother Tayali, Chilufya Tayali, we love you, but you know, just pick a side, stick to it, and be consistent. Okay, and that's what I would say. Anyway, brother Leonard, sorry for cutting you off, but what would be your prediction? Because I've got a crazy theory with regards to the next main opposition after the UPND's mandate is over. So who do you think is going to be the next main opposition? Because I have a very crazy theory, and let's talk about that. Who do you think is going to be able to resurrect their political party and challenge the UPND afterwards?
Okay, I think if Dr. Hari Kalaba works on his jingle runs issues in the party, that's one of the party that would come out prudent and at least be vocal. Then I've got this guy's part, what's his name? His name wants to go. This young man, this one who told the ECZ to say the
Jackson Silavwe.
Yes, Silavwe.
From the Golden Party.
Jackson Silavwe can have an impact if he comes on very well. Like this time, he provides the normal checks and balances. Like that guy, he's got that.
Yes.
You get that? So Jackson Silavwe can make a better opposition in times to come if he only works on where he sees, I think, where he can try to do better. Then Hari Kalaba has lots of chances, and then these that are remaining, when unformed band, they're not vocal. Those,
but
I think I'll end on those.
Getting back to Jackson Silavwe, I think he's got a very good opportunity to really have an impact, but he needs to associate himself with another bigger political party. Like the way you see the way MDC is using and jumping on the bandwagon of an established political party like UPND. Because look, this is how influence works. You just come out of nowhere without any endorsements. That's why endorsements are very important. If you mingle with big people, established political parties, you really get to sort of the influence gets rubbed off on you as well. So that's what he needs. Otherwise, if he's going to build the political party from the ground up, it's going to take him ages, so he needs the power of association. So according to you, you think DP, Golden Party, which other one? That's it?
Apart from those two, I can even bring the joking mood. Ham to do hive. Ham to do hive.
Yes, but with me, with regards to Hamdu Duhaivi, I think he's been neutralized. He's become more of a celebrity than an,
Yes, already.
influential political figure.
Because already he's got a member of parliament from Nalolo, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, he's got a member of parliament from Nalolo, which has even brought him to be a big factor. And then people took him for his names for a joke, which has made him to be popular. And then the good part is, who knows why he stood. Some people said no, it was the PF that funded him. They wanted to confuse people over the HH and the likes. The one who knows the truth is him and whoever was sponsoring him. But I think if he maintains his stance and come out to be a true political figure, I think he can also bring an impact. I think I'll end on these three. I don't see anyone else. Even if they are to get Brani Mundubi, they put him in PF 0. And if it's coming back to Given Lubinda. Given Lubinda again, do you know that Given Lubinda again he's being used as a horse to ride? He can't see that. I don't know why.
It's so clear to see, but he can't see. You see that PF thing when you join, when you're in the PF circles, your brain cells stop working.
Hey, actually, you're right. Look at Mausamba. Mausamba was one of the vibrant youths who saved with good portfolio then in the period of Michael Chilufiasad. But look at right now, he's busy paboba. He goes to parliament and asks about the loss of the Zambian people. Like, man, it was serious issues. That's a game. At the end of it, in football, there's one team to win, if not a draw.
And he's bringing up the issue of Wi-Fi.
So like
when all this time he was the mayor. He was the mayor of Lusaka. He failed to implement it. Now he's bringing the issue of Wi-Fi at bus stations. All right, okay.
When that was his manifesto, once I win, I'll bring Wi-Fi in bus stations.
That was his manifesto.
Why does
he was the mayor?
The other day I looked at him, I was like, this man is not okay. The thing that you are campaigning about on your own, you want to put it on your friends as if they campaigned towards that. Imagine bringing out the linen you've been keeping in your closet and say, Nishimumbi watch the So, in PF, we have lots of jokers and mediocre kind of politicians that don't want to sit and reflect over the things they've been doing. Like, even the time that the motion of censuring Boma Losambo came out, the people who showed that they cared about him, they told him the truth. Like this one,
I'm
like
here.
Mr.
Continue.
Jamba.
I'm here, I'm listening.
Okay, like this one, I hope you won again, the Mwembeshi member of parliament, Jamba, the one who told him facts and even said it's a disappointing figure to see that they say that umwana asebanya wawishi, so here Boma Lusambo ya justice banyaling wa Edgar Lungu for appointing you as the minister of Lusaka. The whole lot of minister goes to use those words towards the people, calling people stinking and disgruntled. I mean, would you call a person stinking?
Right.
Honorable Garding Combo told him, say, Boma Nusamba, my young brother, let not those whom you are with that side lie to you to say, no, everything is okay in ABCD. There is honor in a man who says sorry, and they're going to fly high in your political campaign if you learn to apologize and say, guys, here what I've done is wrong. I ask for forgiveness. Which other route can we do? Imagine including that a former religious madam thing. They were just quiet despite him.
Godfrey Smiley.
Imagine
the Minister of Religious Affairs.
There's literally nothing that I saw that woman provided to the warfare of the Zambian Christianity? Nothing. And initially that ministry was just dividing churches. It's good, it's out. You know, churches that started becoming quali ababene Sunday sinyango no mbamwe ne kwatati ewe never church no Zambia. Sorry to say this, I don't like attacking men of God, but ngatabare started represent wino kubaleta kuana bene kings malembe bale butuka ghost wambo kulemba don't kubeba iwe. Man, stop mixing politics and gospel. If you're called to cause souls for God, do that. Don't go to politics and start doing don't kubeba nibalongo. When you need a brown envelope, just say, guys, I'm a PF supporter. I need this envelope. I need to feed my family from ABCD, like what your dad has been saying. I've eaten with those guys. We've been chatting. I know this one at this level. We've been talking to Bowman, but over Messi.
Shikia.
Actually, shikia kulokulanda na yena next trip akara ku Ethiopia akansendeko shikia mupondo.
But anyway, getting back to the conversation that we were having with regards to you know, the next opposition political party that I feel, and I think because I've been doing a lot of assessments, you guys are underestimating the MMD with Nevas Mumba. So basically, this is my projection. UPND can have another term, you know, because the people of Zambia are probably going to give them another mandate to rule. So basically 2026 UPND will win again. Then after that, I strongly believe that the MMD has got they can come back. Go and see the type of mobilization and the type of restructuring that MMD is doing, and they are having support, you know, outside and all that stuff. So they have a very great chance to come back after 2026, the other election. So do not underestimate Dr. Nevas Mumba and the MMD. There's serious work which is being put in. They are trying to sort of go on the ground, and they are doing probably going to have like a lot of funding and backing, and you know, from the diaspora etc. So do not overlook the MMD. And this happened in Malawi. These guys, they came back after like a very long period of time, so it can be the same structure as well. So but MDC has got the power of association with the UPND. So that one, from a power perspective, very, very strong. You know, the Felix Mutati and the like, they can do very well. So MDC has got an advantage due to the fact that they're already in the system, especially that guy Tavo. Is it what's his name? Tavo Kawanu? Those guys are going to be very, very powerful. Yes, they're going to be very powerful.
Actually, sorry to cut you short. That man among all the spokesperson of this political party, I love the way he comes out. He's straight on point. He knows where to shoot the PF. He knows where to put them straight. Actually, You're right. The MMD, we are underestimating them. They've got a chance to bounce back big because they're not opposing the government. They are bringing it close and giving it advice which can easily elevate them back. Same as the NDC. The NDC being attached to
a bigger advantage than MMD because they are like literally in the system, as they're literally in the system too.
Yeah.
So that's how they can beat the MMD. You know?
Yes, because they can easily pick some of those people who they feel like, oh, UPND people are saying it's over now. Guys, let's jump into this. So the NDC has a very big chance. You just reminded me, I'd forgotten about that. The NDC has a very, very big chance to come forward and do wonders as well. So I think MMD, NDC that we brought on map, and the DP, these three, and Slavo still add him, they can do wonders. And then this guy, I don't know what's wrong with them. I'm still trying to find out. Kevin Wadiafuwe, KBF.
Oh yeah, but KBF at this particular moment, does he have any political party that he's representing? Because he's like in no man's land. He's in no man's land.
He doesn't
but
have.
I love KBF. KBF is a genuine kingmaker. Genuine kingmaker, KBF.
Do you know why I asked about him? I liked KBF, and he also fought hard for the UPND. But Mona, to be frank, I feel as though there's something that KBF did in the last days that we were heading towards the elections, or after we just won the elections. Because KBF would have had a good position right now in the UPND because of his level of education, integrity, and when he's speaking, he's
Leonard,
got.
why do you think? Why do people have got the misconception or this notion that you need to have a position? My brother, influential people are barely seen in front. Influential people play the cards. They are not in front. The rulers and people who make influential decisions in the world, you barely don't know them. So the idea of saying, in order for you to be like a very huge figure, you need to be given a position. Because let's say, for example, you're a minister. Do you know how limited you are and how much you are sort of limited with a lot of different things, even business deals, because the spotlight is on you. Influential people play in the background,
On that one, you're very much right. It's true. But I think you would agree with me more to say influential people on the background, and the most influential people in most of these political parties are cadres, those cadres who are always on the ground and making noise. But Mon, I think you'd agree with me to say KBF would make either a better minister or a better DC or a better any of those positions. You get looking at him with his 10th plan, that plan that he has for Zambia also. Okay, another thing I think I also look at, why don't KBF also try to make his own political party? What is he scared of? Is he scared of the process that it will take long to?
Well, for me, to be honest, once you start putting yourself out there and you start really being, you lose your kingmaker title. KBF is a kingmaker. You understand? He's more, his hand and his touch is that one over there. Bolanga yako sakuma 78 strategic man. And that's all you need. That's all you need. You don't need to be, like given a ministerial post and being an MP and just basically exposing yourself to the public. You need to keep that aura and that sort of reputation. So to me, I wouldn't want KBF to be like out there in the public. He just needs to come out when it's time for him to make a statement, like the way that he did in the last, times of the elections. He put his stamp of approval and things happened. That's where power is. If you look at most of the influential people in the world, the Rothschilds and all these people, they're just in the background playing chess moves. Those are ultimate kingmakers. You don't want to have a kingmaker who's very vocal. This is how Shimba Kambwili lost his relevance. Shimba Kambwili, had he kept quiet and only spoke when necessary, he could have withheld his integrity. But when you are too much in the open, you're exposed to corrupt circles. Let's say, for example, you're a minister. No matter how full of integrity you've got a lot of integrity. If other people are doing despicable things, you're going to be in a situation where you're cornered and you just have to take one for the team, and then you get cornered. So it's important as a kingmaker to just be in the background, only come when Bolayas. And
I think I get your point. I think that's the point I was missing. Thank you for that. I think that's the point I was missing. I've actually assimilated everything you've brought out. The good part about KBF is he's a strategist. That's one thing we're not going to take away from him. He's good at the strategizing. On that one, he's very, very good and straight on it.
And he's never failed. Look at the way Lungu, sort of won that battle between him, Mao Sampa, and Guy Scott, who made him come out of that particular situation. It was KBF and them.
KBF obviously running to Kawe, do the convention from there. All those were their plans and moves.
Solid kingmaker. So those people, those are the ones you just put in the background, and they're just playing moves in the background. Don't expose them to the public. They lose their relevance. Emmanuel Mwamba has got that same touch. but now he's going astray because he's overexposing himself. Emmanuel Mamba can also be a potential kingmaker, but he is cheapening his power, and he's diluting himself. You know, because Emmanuel Mamba could be a KBF, but he just needs to refrain and withhold his integrity before he just becomes like another Chimbakambwe.
Yeah, like Imbwili Mukondolo.
Definitely.
So that's it. Another thing, Mona, that I would want to say is that to my fellow Zambian youth, in the next general elections, let's try by all means to take ourselves, a good number of us. It's high time we should start taking those public offices. I'm very much happy with the likes of JJ, Tarsila, despite her being in that position of the PF and the. Anyway, sorry to say this for lack of, I wouldn't want them to call me to court, but I feel as though Tarsila also has some dirty linen that needs to be checked. I'm saying this, Mona, because it's something that came out on public to say if she went to Eastern Province and fenced all that land, the Chimukula, the Chimtengo forest, what more did she do?
Do you think Tarsila has it? Do you think she has what it takes?
In terms of?
In terms of being a politician, participating in governmental roles?
No. I doubt. You know what I'm saying? I doubt. I doubt saying that. I feel as though she won that seat because the father had already cleaned. They had already cleaned the road. I would have said that to her if she just came out of the bruise like this other member of parliament from what's this place? That woman. Like you say, you see, not a situation whereby your father was a president, then you start. It's as good as Mona. My father is a coach. I'm a footballer.
Yeah.
I'm not that good, but I still get minutes. The reason people, what are people going to say? Because the father is a coach. Even at times when I put more effort on trainings, but the whole point is going to be the father is the coach. So for Tarsila Lungu, I don't see that. And the reason why I'm saying I don't see that, looking at the cases that was attached to her, the accusation that comes about, that plant that we were told about as they're going towards 15 miles and ABCD, man, I just feel bad that the ACC, the moving on a slow pace, quite okay, and they need to investigate, but also once they do the investigation, they're not that thorough. Another thing that we're lacking going forward, Mona, is we need some forensic professionals in Zambia who do these kind of investigation privately and bring such kind of cases forward. Like we have lots of our money loose with these people. Some of these people, you know, money is in scarcity, Mona, and what's the reason why money is in scarcity? These people, they've held money in their, they're holding these monies in their houses. It's a well-known fact. They're holding on monies in their houses. If you had people who are dying then as members of parliament whom you would find money in their houses, I won't call out their names, but they are known. So it makes to say even these guys, the moment they knew that the time was up for them, they stored money in their houses. This is why we've got shortage of money. Like they used to print money even when we didn't expect money. If you're an observer, Mona, of the currents, the time that the campaigns were hitting up, you saw those 10 kwachas these guys were distributing out. Imagine I reached to a point of having a new 10 kwacha, which was showing 2013, and this is 2021. You get to have a brand new 20 kwacha. They just backdate the dates and say these monies were printed already. Like, man, Zambia was given to, I don't know, I don't want to use those words. So Mona, I think winding up to say that I'm emphasizing on the youths, let's not support the UPND in the things they've done wrong. Let's point out where we need to point out, say, guys, on this point, this is not what we voted for. On this point, we expect ABCD and ABCD, and this is the best way we can go about. We bring solutions where we've seen a problem. As youths, we need to be vocal and more vocal because we are the owners of this Zambia now. These guys are just pushing it forward. In the next elections, Mona, my prayer and try is that let's have at least a good number of more than 20 youths. Then we'll be able to say we are ready to take over the leadership of the country. 2031, Muna, let's make it happen. Let's go there. Let's represent our people. Let's represent the best interest of our people and what we are lacking in our constituencies.
For sure.
Simple.
For sure. All right.
So thank you, Muna, for having me through.
No, you should be coming often. I'm sure the people enjoyed you a lot. You should be coming often. So, you know, send us your contact details via our Facebook inbox, and then we'll add you to the panel. That was a very solid, organic conversation. So yeah, you should be coming through. Should be popping up.
Thanks, man. Thanks, man. I was looking for this opportunity. I'll drop you my contacts. I would definitely drop them in your inbox.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, okay. Have a great one. Enjoy. Be blessed. All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was Mr. Chiwala, Leonard Chiwala, and we're just basically going back and forth, and we were having the barbershop talk with you. And this is what I like. I like talking about governmental issues, like we're talking about football. You know, something that people are just laid back, going back and forth, and just talking about these things like it was football, because politics in Zambia matter. Everything in Zambia is political because we are a political society. So that's why we need to participate. We need to know what's going on, because if we slack, we're going to have the PF situation. And that's not going to happen. Not under my watch, not under the watch of many, enlightened and awakened youths. It's never, ever going to happen ever again, because we learned our lesson. And it's never going to ever happen, ever, ever again. That I can guarantee you, as long as we're breathing and as long as we are youthful and vibrant. So thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for, being part of our conversations. And all your contributions have been awesome. So let me just read some of your contributions, because I really want everybody to participate, because everybody is a VIP on Z Corner. So Victor says, Jackson Silawe seems to be so bright, he can get my vote for sure, for sure. So Alice Zulu says, watching from South Africa every time, very good discussion. I hope some people are learning something because it's informative. Well done, guys. Thank you, Alice, for supporting us. Big shout out to Mzanzi. Is it Mzanzi? Yeah, how do you say the South African thing? Alex says, thanks for noticing that Harry Kalaba has lots of chances being the next Republican president. Actually, he is the next. Yeah. Okay, cool. That's your opinion. Lauren Zulu says, what's the background? People need to know this. Maureen says, well spoken, Leonard. Definitely. Lumuno says, I wonder why PF is allowing Nakachinda to destroy the party, just what Kambuli did through his tribal attacks during the campaign for 2021 elections. We talked about this with Leonard, right? The Patriotic Front have got a way of losing brain cells. They've got no time to reflect. They've got no strategy. They've got no advisors. They just move haphazardly. They don't know how to read the temperature of the room, just like I keep on telling you. Carol, big shout out to Carol J, by the way. Big shout out to Carol J and Mary. Mary is probably somewhere in the background. Carol J says, yes, and it's because there's peace now in Zambia. There will be peaceful elections. Bestie says, the truth of the matter is, if UPND, you start treating to PF like Mzukulu, then you will regret. Please, by UPND, I beg you in the name of people of Zambia who voted for you, put tabs PF where they belong. Okay. Carol Feather says, I pray for 2 terms to our HH7, double H7. Jethro Mlanga says he's not afraid of anything. He is a powerful human. I'm sure he's talking about KBF. Nyungu says KBF has a party called Zambia Must Prosper. Okay. By the way, did he stand? He didn't stand. Okay, I don't really know, but KBF solid guy. KBF is a man. Baba Ome. Yeah, definitely. Karo J, we do agree with you. So Cast Moon says, during their time on defamation of character, where did it go wrong on law? Mr. Okay. Which other interesting comments do we have here? I love him. How did the issue finish? These days, I don't talk to him. Carol J coming through again, brother Mona, enjoying your show here in DK. Where's DK? What's DK? Is it Denmark? What's DK? David Kaunda. you're in the hostel. David Kaunda hostels. I'm playing with you, Carol. So Mary says, Harry, there have been infighting there has been infightings in DP, but Judith Kabemba, I will know we don't want. I think they just need to reconcile. The issue, the way that I understand it is, I'm a funds issue, yama finances. That's why Avena Judith Kabemba and them, they are kind of pissed off, and there's that sort of infighting. But they need to sort out their issues, and they need to, stop these infightings and have, or rather, move in tandem, and then everything is going to be okay. I think there's just some internal wrangles which they need to issue out, especially with regards to finances. So it's very important for Harry Calabar and the DP to, get back on good terms and continue. Because if Harry Calabar forms another political party, he will lose his momentum. And ultimately, the DP doesn't want this to happen. They need to continue working on the momentum that they had with Harry Calabar, since Harry Calabar is the face. But of course, they need to reconcile and fix their internal issues. So Judith Kabemba and them, they need to make sure that everything is kind of sorted out. Yeah. So what else do we have? Elliot says Zambia could become the first African developed country if Zambians give the new Dawn government of President HH 10 years to develop the country. We are participating from the diaspora. Definitely, I do agree with you. So basically, it's not just about giving HH the much needed time. It's about putting pressure on them, consistently applying pressure, because if Zambians sort of let go of consistently monitoring them, they're going to start slacking and they're going to become complacent. And complacency always brings about mediocre results. So as much as we understand that these people have got the best intentions, Zambian people need to be putting pressure on them. Let's not be bootlickers. Let's continue demanding for the best from them. Then we are definitely going to be able to move to another level. So what else do we have here? So let me just go through a number of comments. So George Temple says, are you in Zambia, or what UPND did Zambian people he feel? Okay, this is hard to read. Okay, let me do it one more time. Are you in Zambia, or what UPN? All right, okay, I'm not going to finish reading that. It's too hard to read. Venasho Zulu says just the name itself at Nakachinda here in Eastern Province is an insult. All right, so Cynthia Mwakalomba says because this is too much, I was sure. Okay, we are with you, my brother. So basically, that's it for today. Your comments, I hope I really took the time to read most of your comments, and you guys are satisfied, because I want everybody to have an opportunity to vent, to give their opinions, because in Bemba Balandati, amano ya fumine mui fuesa yaya muchulu. So this is why everybody is a VIP on Z Corner. Everybody's voice does matter. And yeah, what happened to the likes and the shares? So ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching me right now, kindly share the video. I know a number of you have just joined us. So what we usually do is every time we have viewers and people watching us, like you are watching us right now, right? We need to share, because sharing is caring. And this allows us to have a bigger fan base. When we have a bigger fan base, we're going to be able to have a big enough voice to lobby for good governance related issues, such as good economic policies and just basically the rule of law. So this is one of the reasons why you need to rally behind Z Corner and make sure Z Corner succeeds, because if Z Corner succeeds, everybody succeeds, because number one, we do not ever bootlick. We are here for the majority of Zambians, and we want everybody to be able to have a very good opportunity to improve their lives. And we can only do that by lobbying for good economic policies and just basically progressive stuff. So this is one of the reasons why it's important for you not only to just watch us, but help us by sharing. By the way, it only takes 1 second. Share this video on your timeline, and in 5 different Facebook groups that you belong to, because that's going to help us reach out to more and more numbers and more people, and then we're going to be able to have like a much bigger impact, which is going to genuinely help Zambia become better. So please do share this video, and let's have about 100 shares, because I can only see about 67 shares and I can only see 314 likes. So kindly share the video right now and like the video. So let's get to about 500 likes and 100 shares, then we're going to be very good to go. So that's all we had for you today. We're going to be back tomorrow, and hopefully you guys are going to be blessed. Remember, health is very important. And by the way, I just started out the fasting. I'm on a fruit diet right now. So I told you about the alkaline diet, right? And how important it is. So right now I'm actually hungry, but it's a very healthy hunger. You know, I've just been eating fruits, and these are just regular fruits, you know, fruits that are found in Zambia, mangoes. Everybody has got access to mangoes. You know, is it avocados or avocados? Stuff like oranges, mandarins. So basically, these are alkaline fruits, and they kind of help us to have an alkaline level with regards to our potential hydrogen. So basically, if you talk about biology, right, you've got alkalinity and acidity. So certain foods increase the acidity in our stomach, and when that happens, our body fights to bring it back to an alkaline state, because naturally our body, our internal system works well in an alkaline state. You understand? So when you eat acidic food, your body fights and it brings back the body to an alkaline state, and it balances up the pH level. So what you need to do is you need to help your body by ingesting foods that are in nature alkaline, so that your body doesn't really overwork and overstress itself. So it's very important to reduce the load on your body by ingesting foods that are alkaline. When you do that, you're going to live a longer life. You're going to, you know, basically even feel better. So it's very important. So learn to identify what type of food you're ingesting, whether it's in an acidic nature or an alkaline nature, if you know what I'm saying, because that's really going to help us sort of remain healthy, and at least try to influence our internal system and just basically be able to prevent some preventable diseases, because a lot of diseases come because of our diet. Diet is very important, and eating alkaline foods is actually very cheap. It's not very expensive. Like, for example, Zambia is blessed with a lot of different alkaline foods. We've got a lot of different alkaline foods in Zambia. It's very affordable, very cheap. So it's nothing which is bougie and expensive or fancy. So please take care of your health, because when you are healthy, you are able to compete and participate. What is the purpose of participating if you're going to be sick and you're not going to be able to compete at the highest level? So take care of your health. Do not take it for granted. You only have one body. If you mess your body, right, it's going to be hard for you to replace it. So you only have one body. This is the body, your system, your car that drives your essence, and you can't replace it. You know, you can't go for services and all that stuff. So take care of it and make sure you take care of your health. It's very important. Once you're healthy, then you can be able to participate. You can do businesses. You can be with your family. It's very important. So make sure you ingest alkaline foods and avoid acidic foods. That's all I had for you today. It's been your boy Muna, aka the Induna and the official Itunga. So talk to you a little bit later. Be awesome. Remember, keep on hustling and be people of integrity. Be people of integrity. Look out for your brothers, for your sisters. Do not be selfish. That's all I have for you. Take care, and nayon kudiama fruits tingu fuensarapa, but I need to fast. I need to fast and basically improve my health. So this is why I'm fasting and I'm only eating fruit. So do the same as well, and then get back to your regular eating schedule after maybe 4 days of fruit fasting. Okay, so fast for like 4 days, just eat fruits. Have detox, detox your body, have detox, make sure you flush out all those toxins, and then, you know, make sure that you've got the alkaline set up in terms of your ingestion. Then you guys are going to be good. So I'm working on that as well. So but it's tough. It's tough. Te aba na yo. All right, okay, take care, and God bless you.